How's it going? So do you sometimes wonder how can you use social media to sell your course, right? So you might be thinking, I don't have a course yet, or maybe you're not creating a course because you're worried about that, right? So I'd love to hear from you, right? By the way, let me know where you're watching from. Do you have a course? Have you created a course yet? Are you waiting? Or if you're not, tell me what is going on. Tell me. I'd love to hear from you. So we're going to get into that, how to use social media to actually sell your course. And before we do that though, let me introduce myself, Jean-Serge Gagnon. I help you create digital courses so you can live your life on your terms. And social media is not the same as regular business, and people try to treat it that way. Like, for example, if you're into, like I started over 3 years ago, sorry, almost 4 now. And one of the things that I started in was network marketing. I was in a business, I still am, but I don't really promote it anymore. But I still believe in the industry. I still believe in what that industry is about, right? But on social media, they have you promote their company. They have you promote their company name, their products. And that doesn't work. People look at that, they see spam, they see that all you care about is selling them something, right? So that's one of the things you don't want to do. You don't want to be promoting your product, your company, your compensation plan, your anything about the company you're part of, whether it's a network marketing company or whether it's a coffee shop. You don't want to be doing that on social media, and I'll explain to you what to do instead. But that's because I learned two really massive secrets on how to build online, and one of them was the concept of build, engage, sell. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but you probably have. And it's basically, the idea is that if you want to sell, you have to engage people. You have to have a connection. You have to be talking to people. If you're not engaging, you're not going to sell. And it's the same goes for building. If you don't have an audience, if you don't have a group of people to talk to engage with, you're not going to be able to engage, right? Which means you won't be able to sell. So that's build, engage, sell. You got to build your audience, and building your audience is all about growing your likes, growing your fans, growing your friends, growing your connections, growing your followers, right? All these things, they're all part of growing an audience on social media. So you got to do that. So that's the first secret, right? The build, engage, sell cycle, if you will, right? And then the other part that I learned is know, like, trust. It's pretty much kind of the same idea, in the sense that know, like, trust. People will buy for somebody they trust. They're not going to buy from somebody they don't trust. And for them to trust you, they got to know you. And for them to know you, they got to like you. And the way you do that on social media is by posting content that relates to your audience. If you're trying to sell a weight loss product, there's no sense in posting, about things that people that are trying to lose weight don't care about, right? They're just gonna be disinterested in you, right? So that's part of it. So you gotta build, engage, sell. You gotta become somebody that they know, like, and trust. Okay, how do you do that, right? So these are the tips, the social media tips. With social media, it's all about consistency. It's all about producing content regularly so that people get to see you all the time. And by them seeing you all the time, that's how they get to know you, right? If you're not posting content, how are they ever going to get to know you, right? So even on regular Facebook, if you're just using Facebook as your, what's the word? as your personal, just what most people do, right? What most people do, they use Facebook to let others know what's going on in their life, right? They'll post pictures with their kids, they'll post pictures of things they're doing, they'll comment, ask for suggestions from people, recommendations, those kinds of things, right? And the social media platform have grown to understand what people use them for, right? That's why, on Facebook, you're going to see a button for recommendation, right? Because before that, you would post something like, hey, does anybody know a good chiropractor? Or does anybody know, a good place to get my car serviced, right? Those, you were looking for recommendations, right? So Facebook figured that out, and they added this button, which I don't know if it makes it better or not, but certainly makes it more obvious what you're doing, right? But that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do to build your audience. You got to, well, that's what you got to do to build your audience. That's what you got to do to eventually engage in your audience. That's what you got to do for them to get to know you. That's what you got to do for them to get to like you, and eventually to trust you, right? And by doing that, you'll eventually be able to sell. So that's why when people ask me, for example, I need help to sell online. Well, I can tell you how to create ads and things, but you know, even if you create an ad and you spend tons of money on ads, you're not going to sell your course that much because people don't know you. You don't have a presence. People can't look up online and see what you're about. They can't see what you've done before. They can't see what others think of you, right? All these things are important if you want to build a business online, if you want to build an audience, if you want to sell courses. So those are the two secrets. Build, engage, sell. Learn about that cycle, what that cycle means, and learn how to get people to know, like, and trust you. Those are the two most important things on social media. And for that to happen, you have to be you have to be posting regularly, and then the rest will come. But it takes time. You can't expect it to happen overnight. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you think anybody else needs to hear this message, then please go ahead and share. Really appreciate it. And don't forget, I'm doing my 5-day free challenge on how to create your first course. You get to create your first course in 5 days. If you want to be in that, make sure you let me know. Comment below or send me a message. We'll see you in tomorrow's video.